Omer, this could have been a lot easier. On October 7th, there were 1,200 people who were killed. And listen, it could have been it. We would have cried, we would have held a funeral, we would have went to the grave, we would have buried you, we would have sat around, we would have reminisced about your life. We would have spent our days, our weeks, our months later thinking of the Omer we so deeply missed. And we would have thought of so many creative ways to commemorate your life. But Omer, you didn't make it easy on us. Instead, we thought you were alive for 14 months. I thought that you were underground in Gaza. My name is Ira Kohler, and I grew up with Omer. But Omer, you're a little bit more than just a childhood friend. We were both raised with an understanding that Judaism and Israel are not just parts of who we are. Israel and Judaism are who we are. We understood that if Israel exists, and how lucky are we that we live in a time where Israel exists, we must make the step to move to Israel and to enlist in the IDF and defend our country. Omer, you moved to Israel and you served as a tank officer, and I served in the IDF as a paratrooper. It could have been a lot easier, but we know it wasn't, and for many months while I was in Gaza, I searched for you, Omer. I hoped and prayed that with our fight, we could bring you home. I hoped that just like we saw the living hostages come home a few weeks ago, I envisioned in my mind a moment that you would come home and you give your parents and your brother the biggest hug we'd ever seen. And for 14 months we believed that, and now we knew that would not happen. Your family, with this understanding that you were still in Gaza, there was a reason and a cause to share your story with the world. The world finally got to know who you were. The world learned your values, the values that you were raised with, and the values that inspired you to move to Israel and enlist in the IDF. The world also saw the goofy and the lovable Omer, and they saw the Omer that led with a certain pride and confidence. Omer, your story has been shared throughout the world, and those who knew you now know you a lot better, and those who didn't know you now not only know you, they think that you knew them. And I know it sounds silly, but Omer, you knew this world was silly, and you know it's a little bit less silly without you. The last time I saw you, Omer, was on a beautiful Friday morning when my brother and I traveled to Tel Aviv. It was the day after you finished your officer school. And we sat there with you and your parents, sitting, looking out into the Mediterranean Sea. And we then went inside and your parents showed pictures on the screen. We got to see pictures from your ceremony where you became an officer, and I could see the smiles on Ronan, his father's face, from ear to ear. That day, as I walked into the apartment, I was trying to be a little bit funny. The moment I walked in, I looked at Omer.